Hello everybody, welcome back to AI War Fleet Command, Vanilla Standard Settings, Difficulty 7. And it's time to finally hit Massalia, as the title indicates. But before we do that, we have to get Calypso, which is between Karen, took that last time, and then we can head there. Now before we get into what this system offers, we've just arrived. Just a reminder that if you're new to the game, check out the beginner playthrough, link is down in the description. I assume everybody here knows the concepts that we're going over in that one. So instead of repeating things, I'm just going to leave those up. Also, a quick note on where we are metal-wise, because the metal crunch phase of the game, a little under 2 hours in, is pretty much over. We're at about half of our maximum, and we're going to be spending some time fighting here, and then we're going to be spending some time fighting in Massalia. We'll use some of that metal to build defenses. We're not in danger of constantly having to be, well, can I afford to build that? That's going to be much less of a concern, if it's a concern at all. We've maxed out our current knowledge, so we're at 2200. We're going to have just enough between this system and Massalia to get a couple key things. And this is a good indicator of sort of the situation where it's not a good idea to do, as I did in the beginner game, invest in the metal harvesters with your knowledge at the beginning, because we're still, pretty much struggling here on knowledge. It's by far our biggest issue, and that's going to be a common thing more and more as we go up through the difficulty levels. But you don't need to spend it on metal, because we're fine on metal already. Now, that process would take a little bit longer if we weren't going to economic command stations, and we might also be a little bit easier on knowledge in that case, but still, it is not worth the effort. Just let yourself grow out of the initial metal crunch. And if you do things intelligently, that's generally going to be something that works out. Okay, so what do we need to do here? Well, there's 4 guard posts. There's a missile guard post here. They're all Mark III. So 2 of those. And there's 2 MLRS down here. And I thought about splitting up the fleet some with this system, but there are a couple reasons why that didn't really end up working out for me. They have a Mark I ion cannon, so I didn't want to bring in any of my Mark I ship. I didn't have enough of the types that are good against missile guard posts. They unfortunately have attack multipliers against most of my Mark II and above fleet ships. The only one that's above is the Mark III bombers. So I decided to go with the overwhelming force approach and just bring everything in that's a starship or not a Mark I fleet ship. So we've got 350 or so ships. We've lost, I think, 4 already. And it's time. I just want to go straight for this missile guard post. I want to get out of the range of this one if I can. But above all, let's knock out one of these. Let's not just sit around and let them both shoot at us. I'm not waiting for anything to get into range because we were already in their range. I'm just saying let's go after it. Okay, now here we've got a situation because this is a Spider Guardian Mark II. So I want our raid starships to just hit that now. Because I don't want that thing to be pounding away at our engines non-stop. And they're going to take a little bit of time, but they're going to do it. Okay, there's everything down here. Now we're going to leave the ion cannon alone. It's still going to do engine damage, but you can see all of these ships are already going nowhere. There we go. There's our Spider Guardian. So now I want to take what's left, because they're still shooting at us, and go after this missile guard post. And you can see we got all these ships here that are basically doing nothing. We did capture some. Let's go after... Okay, what's this now? This is a Lightning Guardian, so I want to take that out next. Looks like we want to take it out now, actually. Okay. So now, I think I want to regroup everybody. And it looks like we lost about 40-some ships, but we captured about 20 of the enemy. Which just shows you the Leech starships and the Parasite, how much, like, they literally cut our losses here in half. There we go. And that ion cannon is going to continue firing at us. So I don't want to just like stand around in the system. I think we've got enough, so I just want to gradually work our way down. Group travel at first, and get these MLRS guard posts out of the way. And while I'm doing that, let's get the colony ship. If we look at our fleet here, it looks like everything we captured was Mark III fighters. I mean, capturing 20 Mark III fighters is not nothing. Okay, let's move it along. Now that everything's within range. And we're getting attacked by both MLRS posts. But again, their ships left them to come attack us. So there we go. And let's hit that Tachyon Sentinel next. And then we'll head in for the command station. This is one of those cases where the raid starships are nice, because they can move faster. And at this point, the sooner we get stuff down, the better off we're going to be. $260 ships left. They took down a fair amount with the MLRS, but we still kept most of our ships intact. Okay. Now, the reason why I didn't destroy the ion cannon is you can actually capture it. It says in the middle there, captured on planet ownership change. So why destroy it when you can make it part of your defenses? And that's what we're going to do here. Alright, now I built fairly limited defenses in Calypso. Just 10 of the main turret types each. Because we're going to be protected with planets on either side very soon. I also can just notice here that we now have our ion cannon under a force field. Built the command station right by it so we could protect them both that way. And there's just the one line of turrets that is actually slightly off vector, but it's headed towards Massalia. And now we're ready to take that on. Let's see what they have in store for us there. Well, Massalia is no joke in terms of its initial defense. We've got a Mark III Needler and a Mark II Fortress paired together. What I want to do is really quickly take out the Needler and all of this other stuff surrounding it, and then get everything but our bombers out of range of the Fortress, if I can. Of course, they've still got the Mark I ion cannon in here as well, so I took the same fleet in. So, we're going to lose some stuff here. We just want to take out this initial area. Alright, already reprisal warning level 1, and that one we're going to see. The AI2 ones we won't because they're the turtle, but we will see that one. Okay, so now, if you are not a bomber, you are getting out of dodge. They're still getting targeted. Okay. So now that's done with. Reprisal warning level 2. That could be more fun than I really would like. There's nothing of significance over here, so I want to regroup and bring in our reinforcements as quickly as possible because they're still shooting at us. We've got to wait for Deimos to get them all built. There they go. Okay, we lost 2 bombers and 54 fighters. Is that really it? I think... Okay, yeah, we lost a riot control starship. Still, that's not much. For a Mark II Fortress, I'll take that trade. So let's get them all into Massalia. And at least this first wave to Calypso, the reprisals will probably be bigger. But this one, 113 frigates and a starship, I'm not worried about that. Our defenses can handle those just fine. So what else is here in Massalia for us to be concerned with? Looks like they have 3 things, and the second one is the worst of them. We've got a Spire Shield guard post, no particularly dangerous ships around it. That should not take long to take down. Then over here we've got a barracks, we've got the Mark III Needler, and we've got the Spider Guardian. So that's going to be fun. And I think what I want to do is they're probably going to release the stuff from the barracks at some point. And then we've got the MLRS guard post. I just want to hit this one, see if we can get rid of that before the barracks. And then the barracks fight's going to be interesting. I want to be at full strength for that, as much as I possibly can be. So, to begin with, we'll just try taking this down. Not the CSG, we can't do that. Okay, now as expected, with the amount of bombers we have, that was no big deal. Now this Spider Guardian's, trying to be a jerk again. Let's send the raid starships after that. And they're surviving the hits they're taking pretty well. Thankfully, they're not hugely vulnerable to the Needler. Now they're starting to damage the one, but I think we're going to get rid of it. Maybe not. Okay, now let's get out of range. There we go. Sort of group up here, and we've got these over here. Let's add them to the fun. Let's see how many more we've got. Okay, we've got 415 fighters and a starship in a reprisal to Karen. So that one I'll probably want to take a look at when it comes in. And we captured a couple Mark III space tanks. Oh, there goes one of them. We've got ships on Calypso. Let's take a look at how that's going. Yeah, they're trying to go after our harvesters. Look at that. They want to kill our harvesters. Go ahead if it makes you feel better. I don't really care at the moment. A lot of them have been immobilized. Yeah, same old drill. Okay. Meanwhile here... Oh, look, we got some cutlasses. Let's take a look at those. The Vorticular Cutlass. We've captured some of those. Spinning blade mass crashes into enemies, damaging itself and them, straight through their armor. Unless issued a specific command, it will automatically attack nearby enemies. Okay. Best against composite, light, and neutron. So, it's a very fast ship, 128 speed, almost as fast as a Raptor, that does, essentially melee damage. Alright, now we're going to go after this Needler post next. And this is probably going to be the big fight, because eventually we'll hit the barracks that decides this system. You can see some of our ships being left behind, but not most of them. And it's shooting at us now. Calypso command station under attack. That's not good. Did we fail in our defense? Oh, I think it was that Plasma Siege. The Plasma Siege got through, but I think we fought it off. Yeah. And now they're going to clean up the rest of this mess. Okay. I'm happy with that. Let's head back to Massalia, where I think it's time to pop this barracks, which is not popped on its own. Here we go. 230 some Mark III ships. Looks like we're going to get it, though. We'll probably have some new additions to our fleet. And there goes. This looks like it's going to go well. I want to see how Karen runs. Because here come all of their 400 and some ships. Yep, and they've got... Oh, that's a leech. It's not a plasma. The spiders knocking out groups of them as they come in. Now they've basically been stopped by our tractors. Now they're going to send another reprisal to Ixion. That's a little closer to home. They've knocked out some of our turrets here. But it looks like we're going to be fine. So, head back to Massalia. Okay. See what we have left. Not a whole lot. So let's get out of range. And they still have some ships left that we're cleaning up. Ooh, Sniper Guardian. I hate Sniper Guardians. Let's have the raid starship go take care of that mess. And I've got a Tractor Guardian. Oh, for Pete's sake. Okay. That's going to be a bigger problem than it initially looked. So I think whatever cost, I want to take out that sniper. Okay. Now we'll group back up again. And wait for the fleet to rebuild before I finish off this system. We have successfully defended both systems, although Calypso was a little bit close. We needed more to take out that Plasma Siege initially. Here's our Ixion reprisal wave, and we're going to get hit with another one in a few minutes. That'll be interesting. This is a Leech and a Plasma Siege. So I think we can handle this. Let's make sure we take out these starships. Missile turrets starting to open fire. Of course, the threat here is that everything else soaks up a bunch of the fire while the Plasma Siege continues on. But it's going to stop here and try to... Oh, no, it's not. And there we go. Ixion under attack. Got hit again. And we took it out just in time. So those Plasma Sieges getting through, like, we're just barely holding up against them. Alright, so back in Massalia, I've sent my bombers off by themselves to take out the MLRS. while everything else sort of plays center field. And there it is. Now I think we're ready to knock this thing out. Of course, I want to put the fleet over here by our new Mark V Fabricator and our new advanced factory that we're going to be taking over shortly. Now we've got the ion cannon here sort of in center field. It's really badly positioned here, right next to a wormhole. I'll probably spare an extra force field to guard it, but I'm not going to be too terribly worried about that, especially since it's Mark I. This is definitely the most important thing to defend. So here is Massalia in place. You can see I put the needlers off a little bit, but I built more defenses here than I have anywhere except for arguably Deimos. I've got most of a cap of turrets up in place. You can see there's not much left. I'm really going to want to defend this heavily. I also did the deal with 2 standard and 2 hardened force field generators. Really want to make sure I defend the advanced factory. So from this, we've got the Mark V auto pod, mini cannon thingy, auto cannon mini pod, whatever. And then we've also got Mark IV fleet ships, if anything we had Mark III of, which right now was the Scout. So I've already got our Mark IV Scout doing its auto explore thing. That's what we're going to look at the beginning of the next episode. And we've also got Mark IV bombers building. So our fleet is expanding. We've still got plenty of energy. Our metal income, you can see it's up pushing 3,000 now, and we had 4 different systems giving us scrap, only 2 now. I am going to want to beef up defenses probably a little bit to help combat those Plasma Siege Starships a little better. You see there's almost no threat, so almost all of it came in, and for whatever reason, the threat that we have likes to hang out in V-Date. I'm not really sure why, but that's where they like to be. There they are. But you can see we've started exploring a little bit more. Here is where we were before. It's hit Hoth, Electra, and Psyche, and it's got a lot more work to do out this way. So, when I return, we'll be taking a look at what's in the rest of the galaxy and formulating our mid-game plan. It wasn't entirely a walk in the park, but a reasonably comfortable conquest of Massalia. And now our early game goals are complete. We want to find out where those homeworlds are and begin the push towards them. That'll be coming up next. Until then, thanks for watching. More AI War Fleet Command coming up.